My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans, I hate Trump, and guess what? You got the wrong guy.
The police say Crooks was seen sitting on this concrete retaining wall at around 5:51 p.m. This eyewitness says he saw Crooks walk on the roof between buildings.
What did you see and hear?
I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seeing a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next.
This would mean Crook got on top of the roof from the second building, not the building he allegedly shot from. Then Crooks walked from this roof to this roof. This might mean Crooks had to walk around the entire building complex to get to this spot on the other side of the building, where there is an elevated dock, and where he might have climbed onto with pallet skids, then pulled himself up onto the roof. Then Crooks walked between the two buildings, just like the eyewitness said. Then Crooks crawled up the roof to his shooting location.
He's on the roof! He's right here, right on the roof!
We noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building.
Police also confirm that it was local police snipers in the second-story tall building that was facing Trump.
KDK's Jennifer Barresso also has a major new piece of information about where police were from the time the shooter was deemed a suspicious person to the time he started shooting.
We now know that local police not only were inside the AGR complex, but also inside a two-story building with windows facing the roof the shooter got onto. The New York Times is also reporting Thomas Crooks may have scoped out the rally 6 days beforehand. 2 days before the Trump rally, Butler Township Police say they clearly told the Secret Service they didn't have the manpower to secure the AGR complex. They were tasked to capacity with important traffic responsibilities, including the motorcade for former President Donald Trump.
They were looking at assignments or ready to divvy up assignments, and our police department indicated that the manpower that they had necessary was not adequate for any assignment other than the traffic assignment that they intended to do.
The question is, who was responsible for securing the complex? Multiple sources say nobody was in the building that Crooks climbed on and fired from. We've learned a local sniper team was in a two-story building attached to where Crooks was. You can see where the windows are above the roof level where Crooks was. CBS News reported a local tactical team spotted Crooks from those windows and snapped a picture.
This reporter was in the well, which is the area that surrounds the stage Trump was on, and she reported that there were shots fired from different guns at different angles.
You mentioned a little bit about what you heard. You wrote that you heard the bullets whiz by your head. Explain what that was. And I'd also like to know, were you around those who were critically injured or the one person was killed?
No, they were off. Yeah. And so the people that were killed were past the president. So I heard pop, pop, pop. Someone that's been around guns all my life. I knew exactly what the sound was. Sometimes people think it's fireworks, but I knew what the sound was. And then I knew the second set of shots were of a different caliber. You could tell that there was a difference. I'm not savvy enough to know to be able to say, oh, well, that was this and this was that. But I could tell that they were different. It was a different gun being used in the second round of shots.
Crooks is from the Pittsburgh area. The local cops that were snipers in the building facing Trump were also from the Pittsburgh area. And two senior Pittsburgh motorcycle cops were at the rally when they were not authorized to be at the rally.
And new at 5:30 tonight, the Pittsburgh Police Union is fiercely defending two members, motorcycle supervisors, who were part of the Trump motorcade in Butler and since removed from that unit.
As Mamie Ba reports, there's confusion over whether they should have been part of the security.
Right. He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on.
The Secret Service is also protecting the area closest to the stage. For areas further away, state and local law enforcement are responsible for security.
This might have been a local Pittsburgh area attack on President Trump party people, because there certainly was more than one shooter.
No one told you not to take the stage?
No, nobody mentioned it. Nobody said there was a problem. And I would have waited for 15. They could have said, let's wait for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, something. Nobody said, I think that was a mistake. How did somebody get on that roof? And why wasn't he reported? Because people saw that he was on the roof. I mean, you had Trumpers screaming. The woman in the red shirt, she was screaming, there's a man on the roof. And then other people said, there's a man on the roof who's got a gun. And that was quite a bit before I walked onto the stage. So you would have thought somebody would have done something.
Crooks was on the peak of the roof, and he is over 20 feet in the air. If he did the shooting, the bullets would be on a downward slope trajectory, but they weren't. A New York Times photographer captured the bullet flying past Trump's head, and it was flying straight across. And clearly it was not shot from a 20-foot-high rooftop and on a downward slope from the rooftop to the stage. So make no mistake about it. There was more than one shooter, shooting from more than one location, and I'm the king of this case.
And you know, that's a little bit old. He's going down! And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
He's dead. I just seen his hair go up. They shot him in the head. He's dead.